Jamf School is an incredibly powerful and flexible management tool for Apple devices. As administrators, it allows us to group, configure, update, and report on every Apple device in our fleet. This is Zach. Let's take a tour of Jamf School. After logging in, we're brought to the Jamf School dashboard. You may not see much at first, but once devices have been enrolled for a while, this dashboard will give you insights on device and user counts, app and operating system information, most common device models, and more. Clicking the flag in the top right allows us to change the language into any of our 6 supported languages. If we click the User button in the top right, we can find our user preferences, bring the Jamf School Setup Assistant back, or reset all of the help dialogues that display when first using Jamf School. Let's check out the user preferences. We can change the theme of the app between light and dark, set it to match our computer's light or dark mode theme, or return it to the original color scheme for a vintage look. We can also set our default language. These preferences are user-based, meaning any settings chosen here are specific for the user that chooses them. Once our preferred settings are chosen, click Save. Clicking the notification bell in the top right brings us to the Notification Center. Here we can find notifications for token and push certificate expiration, app requests from teachers, and other important information as it comes up. If your Jamf School instance has multiple locations or schools configured, you may see this location switcher menu in the top as well. This is where we can switch between multiple locations or schools that have been configured. On the left is a sidebar that takes us anywhere in Jamf School. The Devices section is where we can manage our inventory of enrolled computers and mobile devices, keep those devices up to date, group devices together, and set up how devices should be enrolled. The Users section is where we can manage students, staff, and any other device users for our school. User groups can be created for grades of students, specific classes, or any other reason you can think of. The Classes section is where we can create classes for our users and their devices. A class contains the teachers and students for any particular class in your school. This allows teachers and students to interact with the Jamf Teacher and Jamf School student apps. Classes can be created manually here on this page, or they can be synced in from Apple School Manager or your student information system. The Incidents section is where we can keep track of things like hardware damages or anything else that needs to be fixed in the absence of a more formal ticketing system. The Blueprints section utilizes Apple's latest Declarative Device Management, or DDM, protocol to manage devices. Several suggested blueprints can be found on the bottom half of the page, such as software updates or even managing calculator and math settings on devices. However, we can always build our own blueprints from scratch using the Create Blueprint button in the top right. This is still a relatively new feature, so keep an eye out for updates and new functionality as our Jamf engineers continue to build out this area. Keep in mind, blueprints require more up-to-date operating systems on devices in order to work, so older devices may not be eligible. To learn more about blueprints and their requirements, check out the links in the resources. The Profiles section is where we can manage devices using profiles. Profiles operate through the Mobile Device Management, or MDM, protocol. Profiles allow us to configure devices to set restrictions, push out Wi-Fi information, set home screen layouts, and more. You may be asking yourself, when should I use blueprints and when should I use profiles? Blueprints and DDM in general are still a relatively new feature, so not all functionality has been migrated over yet. Ideally, in the future, blueprints will be used for everything. For now, though, operating system limitations and the pacing that Apple releases DDM functionality means we'll need to use a mixture of both. The best advice we can give is to use blueprints when and where you can to start. If you have devices that are not eligible for blueprints, or there is certain functionality that's not yet available in blueprints, then use a profile. Moving on, the Apps section is where we can manage our inventory of apps that can be deployed to devices. With Jamf School, apps can be deployed in volume using licensing from Apple School Manager. This allows students and teachers to have apps installed automatically on their devices without ever needing an Apple account. This is also the section where administrators can manage app requests from teachers. For more information about app requests in Jamf School, check out the links in the resources. Similarly, the Documents section is where we can find any books and documents that have either been manually uploaded or licensed from Apple School Manager. If you have the scripting module enabled in your Jamf School instance, then the Scripts section will be available below Documents. This is where scripts can be deployed to enrolled computers. The Wallpapers section is where we can upload and manage any wallpapers that can be deployed to devices. Clicking Organization on the sidebar opens up some more administrator functionality. Here we can access the Jamf School settings, configure additional locations, view the status of any import tasks, manage administrator users, view notifications and agreements, see an audit log of everything that has happened in our instance, and check in on larger tasks such as inventory exports. Finally, in the bottom of the sidebar, we can access API documentation, manage tickets with Jamf support, and view Jamf School licensing information. Jamf School is a powerful tool for managing the Apple devices in your school's fleet. Keep working through the Jamf 140 series to see how to utilize all of the sections listed above as you begin your device management journey. Explore around your Jamf School instance more to get familiar with it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in another video.